Welcome to SolaraSpeaks. My name is Solara. I'm here to give you, it's a bit of a reading. It's not a traditional reading. So my goal with this whole channel is to help you guys to heal and ascend and to come home to yourself. And I've been, for the past few months, on that part of my journey where I've had to clear away a lot of energetic debris and interference in order to, I guess, come back to 0 points is really what it is, come into balance. I've done an immense amount of healing work over the years, but this past year has really been about, well, the past 2 years has been really about clearing a lot of stuff, utilizing the power of ritual. And I have created a lot of ritual cards that I've used specifically with spell magic. Well, not spell magic, candle magic, I should say, candle rituals. For those of you who don't like the word magic, it's literally just writing a prayer and lighting a candle to set the intention. So I have these cards here, and I want to see what's going to come out, and if anything comes out that can be of assistance to you on your journey. So I've got 2 piles here. I've got a smaller group of cards, and then I've got a larger group, and I'm going to see what comes out. Let's see what advice might be able to come out for you from Spirit in terms of how to help you right this moment on your own healing path, in terms of rituals that you might want to consider, or energies that are needing your attention or clearance. So the card that's come out is Restore My Fortune in Full and with Interest. Restore my fortune in full and with interest. We're going to get some more information around that. We're going to get some more information. I'm going to go into this deck here first and see if I can get a bigger card. Might even get a little bit of tarot to clarify what it is that you're being asked to look at. Ooh. Too many. So this card is about removing, clearing, and binding all energies designed to keep you stuck in loops and lower timelines, old or expired energies, and any kind of spell or energy work designed to trap you in time. Okay, there's a lot of writing here. I won't go into it, but let's see. So the first energy, the Restore My Fortune in Full and with Interest, is clearly about a money block, right? The money blocks can happen in so many ways. It can literally be people who've done like energy work on you in order to block your fortune, to block your money. It could be like a one-off thing, but it could also be a long-term issue. It could also be, root chakra, sacral chakra blockages. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Can we get some information, please, on the Restoring Fortune in Full, please? Restoring Fortune in Full. Ooh. So we got a Page of Swords in reverse. So this is giving me some interesting energy. So first and foremost, this Page of Swords energy is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy. So it's something to do with the way that you communicate, the way you stand in your power, and even your mental energy. So there could be attacks against that in terms of how you're able then to go out into the world and to look after yourself, make money for yourself, stand in your power, and be able to create abundance for yourself. So the attacks are likely against your mind. They've likely always been against your mental body. With the Page of Swords, Page is child energy. So this is programming that could have begun for you at an early age. It could also speak of mental abuse or verbal abuse. And as children, that often comes through family members, through parents and authority figures, whether in the schooling system. There's something about words that have been sown into your reality that need to be cleared and cleansed. So if you're going to do any kind of work around this specific blockage, I would really target words that have been sown into you in order to create narratives narratives to keep you stuck in lack. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Ten of Wands, which is very interesting. The Ten of Wands energy for me is Sagittarius energy, if that's of interest to you. It's ninth house energy. It's all about expansion, learning, travel. For me as a reader, I look at the tarot and astrology by way of, like more to do with the map of your soul, right? And so the Ten of Wands for me is really this energy of carrying ancestral baggages that aren't yours to carry anymore. It's time to put it down. So for some of you, this is actually a generational thing. What's coming through for me right now is, in some situations and families, they pass on, it's like, especially women do this a lot. It's a wound of patriarchy, right? So if a mother wasn't able to self-actualize, instead of wanting more for her children, what she does is then repress that child in order that they aren't able to climb also, because she cannot stand to see that child do well. It's a lot of jealousy and envy energy, but deeper than that, it's an entity that wants to continue to live on generationally through the family. And so it uses the mother as a host. So we all have that choice. That's passed on to us, right? And we have the choice whether we're going to heal and pass it on to the next generation, or whether we're going to just, stay stuck. So for some of you're coming from a situation where I would say it could be a mother or it could be a father. It's very common in maternal relationships, but it could be a mother or a father who didn't want to see you do better than what they did for themselves, and as such, they may have verbally and emotionally abused you. There was something about this energy of lack that's been sown in you through words and through limiting your own sense of power from the time you were a child. Is there anything else you want to speak about with this money block? The Swords energy is not only, it's not sacral or solar plexus. It actually is mostly throat chakra, but also to some extent crown. Crown chakra has a lot to do with how we connect to the divine, how we connect to our divine truth. There's been some kind of blockage between you and your ability to connect with your divine identity because of blockages placed in your ability to access your truth that again came through verbal abuse as a child. Is there anything else? Nothing else is wanting to come back. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to put the Page of Swords back in here. And I'm going to look into this energy of clearing all work that has you stuck in time. It's interesting because it's all connecting in with this money block energy. That is when we are not able to. When we are still dealing with childhood wounds, like the ones that just came out in the cards with the Page of Swords reverse, the mental and the emotional abuse, or the verbal abuse rather, the words that were sown in to cause someone to think a certain way about themselves, to create this narrative of lack. 22 on my clock. When we when we find ourselves deep in that wound, what happens is it is almost like time stops. And when that happens, if we don't break out of that energy, what occurs is that we constantly create scenarios around that energy, and we get caught up in a loop. And so what happens is that the presentation might be different, but the energy is the same. So for example, if this is an energy that you got stuck in at around the age of 9, you never were able to potentialize your truth past an event that occurred when you were 9, okay? Because that energy wasn't processed, you've been living out that energy consistently in a loop since then in various ways, right? So you may have found yourself in friendships, in partnerships, at work, in romantic situations where you aligned yourself with people who either very blatantly or subtly embodied the same energy towards you of cutting you down and keeping you in a place of lack. Within the context of your own mind. Now, like I said, sometimes it's subtle and other times it's blatant, but it's the same energy. And that's because it is a lesson that at every turn your soul is wanting you to get over and heal from, so you can rise again into your truth and your power, so you can connect with your divine blueprint, you can connect with your divine truth, you can come into balance in all of your energy centers. But there's a real focus for you here with the crown chakra, which is how you connect with the divine, and with the throat chakra, how you stand in your divine truth and express that in the world, not only through your voice, but through your very presence. Ooh, what's happening here? I don't know if we're going to get anything else. Do we want anything else with this energy of being stuck in time? Are there any other messages? So what came out is the Knight of Wands. And then we have the Tower. And then at the bottom, we do have the Eight of Cups. So we've got Pisces energy here. We have Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And we have Scorpio and Aries here, or Mars energy. So what I'm getting here is that the Knight energy, again, it's teenage energy. The Knight energy is, well, the Wands energy is also spiritual. It's all about things that occur in spirit. There's something here that occurred when you were a teenager with the Knight energy that has to do with your spiritual reality, right? For some of you as teenagers, you may have entered into a phase of being self-destructive. You may have you may have like entertained a lot of impulsive behaviors or energies where you lacked impulse control. That often manifest as, addictions, whether it's, sex, drugs, alcohol. It can be taking risk with your, not having a real proper sense of like a healthy sense of fear. It can be that too, but there's something here about the teenage years and entering into a time of like self-destruction. There could have been things that were occurring around you in your world, like in your family. I see this Tower. For some of you, you could have been dealing with parents breaking up, or a very traumatic event that occurred within your family life or within your own personal life during teenage years. You may have begun to express a lot of repressed anger, because we were looking at with the money block, the Page of Swords in reverse. And that is, again, the repressing of someone's power. And in teenage years, it may have become too much for you, and all of the things that you couldn't say that had been bubbling up, that anger started to be expressed. And it could have been expressed towards others. It could have even been expressed towards self with self-destructive behaviors. And then with the Eight of Cups, what I'm getting here is that some of you may have walked away from your families. You may have walked away from home. You may have left. You may have run away. And if you didn't do so physically with the Eight of Cups, it can also be like it was a time where emotionally you separated yourself. There was like some kind of what would be the word? It's like there was a severance, like in your relationship with your family, that that you might not have ever recovered from, like, deeply, even if on the surface it was kind of covered up. Yes. So this whole idea of being stuck in a time loop, it has to do with these energies of repression from childhood and the inability to express anger, and not being able to constructively express anger. So those are issues that you might want to be looking at now, right? As you heal, you might want to look at the actual events, that are coming up regarding that. But you might also want to think about expressing this anger. You might want to think about speaking it. You might want to think about using the power of ritual to move it, to awaken it, to no longer repress it. You might want to think about how the repression of your anger has had an effect on your ability to stand in your authenticity and in your truth. I'm going back to that throat and crown chakra, because there's something here to do with this, any kind of money block you're having, or it doesn't have to be a straight up money block. It could be like a failure to fully launch, what I mean? Like, that's kind of the energy I'm getting. Like, you might be doing okay, but you're not doing as well as you could be or you should be. And part of that is to do with being stuck in this loop that occurred from childhood, and the repression and the repressed anger, and possibly even the destructive behavior that occurred because of it in teenage years. You could have a lot of you could have a lot of Aries or Scorpio energy. Could have a lot of planets in your first and your 8th house. Could have hidden enemies within your own family. With the 8 of Cups, Pisces is 12th house energy. Could have really been dealing with a lot of karmic energies within the context of your family that maybe you still are needing to visit, in terms of like if you've removed yourself from your family, you still might need to consider clearing here it would be really your emotional body, as well as your undoing anything on other planes and realms that connect you to this energy too. So etherically, there could still be cords. There could be work that needs to be thought about ancestrally and on the spiritual planes that needs your attention. So yeah, it's everything is coming here. So with the money block, that is a physical manifestation of something, but the solution that's coming up here is within the emotional body and on the spiritual plane, and then to some extent with the mental body too, with that Page of Swords in reverse. So I hope that this reading was helpful. If it was, please make sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe. I will be doing these readings as I feel like it, I guess. If you guys like them, let me know. Yes, if you need me for a one-to-one consultation, then please feel free to contact me. My website information will be below. If you are interested in a Tarotstrology soul mapping report, all information regarding that is also on my website, solara.info. Yes, if you're interested in one-to-one consultations with me, I use the entire breadth of my expertise in spirituality in all facets, including the tarot, as well as energy healing and work. And I'm a trained coach, and I'm also trained in herbalism. And I work a lot with ritual to help overcome certain blocks within all 4 or all 5 of our bodies, depending on how you want to look at it. I look at it as 5: etheric, mental, emotional. Mentally, emotional come together to form psychological, or the psyche, and then of course a physical manifestation of it as well. So anyway, I wish you guys the best. It's been fun reading for you. Until next time, be well.